All right. I want to make the move, but everyone get drinks. So we got a big move from the MGM group. So keep copying that.
Cool. Very cool. Do it.
So what I want to do first is, I know we have marketers in the room, we have media people in the room, but I want to give some background on Chad Brown and how it got to the point of launching an iconic brand like Virgin in an iconic market. I know people around, but who's been to Las Vegas before? Raise your hand. Okay, a lot of people.
Has anybody been to Virgin?
Yeah. Who's been to Virgin? A couple people. All right. How about Hard Rock? Anyone go to Hard Rock? Okay. And the other thing Chad and I talked about is everyone was doing kind of this panel thing, so we're like, screw that, we got to be different. So we actually have some slides, some commercials, we're going to keep it fun. But Chad and I have been working together a while now, so this will be fun. It's not like a normal moderated kind of situation, but I mean, Chad's been at MGM, we saw them up here earlier, launched the Bellagio. I mean, he's been doing this in Vegas at a level for a long time. Chad, you want to just give like a quick background on your
You know, I'm not your traditional story. I'm probably a little unique here. I cut my teeth in hospitality in grad student. I was actually running the rides. I was running the rides at the top at a very young age, and I got an opportunity with casino marketing to make a couple extra dollars, and I was doing promotion, getting people to sign up for email on the casino floor. So that's how I cut my teeth. I was there for a little while, and then I went over to graphic design for a Review Journal newspaper in Las Vegas. Then I got this hairy idea to join the military. And I was in active duty army. I was in combat arms. I was a veteran of M181 battle tank. An absolute honor to serve. I joined a special forces unit in Fort Owens, California, and was trained in foreign weapons tactics and weaponry, and trained our troops when they were going to deploy. Actually trained them on the tactics they were in the weaponry they were going to go up against when they went overseas. So it was an awesome experience. And I came out of the army and started working for a gaming manufacturer in Las Vegas. And I was marketing 2 casinos. For any of you in advertising, marketing, whatever field you're in, if you're trying to market to us, the casinos, I know how hard that is. I lived it for 4 years. So after that, I actually decided I didn't want to market to the casinos. I wanted to market for them. So I started a 15-year career with MGM Resorts. We heard from Sarah Moore here. She was a long-time colleague of mine, very close friend and colleague at MGM. I started off at Treasure Island, spent a few years there, moved over to Bellagio, spent 4.5 years at that property. Moved over to Mandalay Bay, spent another 4 years there. I was on the team that opened Delano Hotel there. And then I moved over to be the vice president of marketing for marketing and gaming for Luxor and Excalibur Hotel. Was those 2 properties for a few years, and then finally, MGM Resorts. And this is when I worked closely with Sarah. I worked as the vice president of marketing operations for all U.S. properties. So it was a really good run. And then, interestingly enough, as we transitioned into Virgin, I started with a company called JC Hospitality in January of 2020. And my sole purpose was to transition Hard Rock Hotel into Virgin Hotel of Las Vegas. And that's kind of where the journey began with that. And then we had this weird little screwball thrown at us called COVID. So it's kind of interesting. So you can see Chad's career that kind of put to this point. How in the hell do you launch Richard Branson's baby brand? It's super iconic in a market like Vegas. That's kind of what we want to go over today. But the other hard part is how do you sunset a brand like Hard Rock at the same time? Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that. I mean, who's been to the Hard Rock before? Right? Everybody has a certain memory, right? Well, we don't talk about those memories. I grew up in Vegas. I've got Hard Rock memories too.
Circle Bar. Who's been a Circle Bar?
Circle Bar. Interestingly enough, Hard Rock was open for 25 years. Extremely iconic brand in Las Vegas. Peter Morton opened this hotel in 1995. It was very important to us as gaming owners of the property to make sure we sunsetted a brand that was so important to the local community. So we actually threw a 5-day party for locals only, well, anybody who wanted to come, but we really focused on the locals. And the employees were able to join in on that party to really sunset this brand. JC Hospitality bought Hard Rock Hotels in 2018. And ultimately, when Peter Morton bought the Hard Rock, or built the Hard Rock, it was dubbed a resort for a new generation. Well, a generation is typically 20 to 30 years. So we saw it as an opportunity to sunset that generational brand and create a brand for a new generation. And I'll talk about what generation means just a little bit for us.
So Virgin, I mean, this is a mega resort. I mean, if you think about launching a hotel, 1,500 rooms, 12 restaurants, clubs,
Concert halls, theaters, outdoor, beach clubs. You name it, we've got it all.
So here's a front shot of Virgin. Let's bring the Virgin. Next slide. This is kind of unique. It's different. What I love, I think the most about marketing is it's a kind of like what's the business first, and then how do you figure out the market around the business opportunity. So explain this kind of different partnership that hasn't really been done in Vegas before.
This has not been done in Vegas. It may have been done elsewhere. We're not aware of it. Am I too far away? Okay, sorry. So JC Hospitality is the owners and property managers of Virgin Hotels Las Vegas. We're a multi-operator property. There's no other properties in Las Vegas that are multi-operator driven like we are. So what that means is we are a licensed Virgin brand. That's the flag we fly on the side of the building. We are Virgin Hotels. We follow the brand standards 100%. But our hotel is operated by Hilton. We're a member of the Curio Collection. So Hilton is the hotel manager. The casino floor is leased by Mohegan Sun Casino. They're the first Native American gaming operator in the state of Nevada. So very proud to partner with them and be a part of that historical moment. But they lease the casino floor, so we don't manage the gaming license, which is a big benefit to us in other areas of investment. In addition, AEG, the largest entertainment company in the world, manages our 4,800 seat theater. And they manage the artist bookings, they manage the ushers, and every part of that theater. And then on the last part here, we've got, when I talk about AEG Curio, the license, the best part here we're going to get to is our partner OH. I know you have a question for that, I think.
I totally forgot to look at my script, so we're not going to go there. But oh, you want to move? Okay, we can do that. Should I scoot? Oh yes, boom.
I feel left out.
We might need some stuff here. So let's go into the campaign. So I run an agency. Chad's my client. Okay, in the deal. We also have a film company, Matter Films, and let's talk about how the hell do you shoot in the desert at 100 degrees? Over 100 actors and people to shoot a badass commercial. It was pretty special. So I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about, Chad's about to launch this mega resort, COVID hits, and production goes to a complete halt. So how the hell do you figure this shit out? It was pretty cool.
I'll tell you what, none of this brain existed before COVID. I'm thinking about following your lead this time, just shaving it off. But we thought it works. Okay, I got you. I've been lucky so far. Nothing up here. It's all my face. But we thought we dodged the bullet. We closed Hard Rock Hotel on February 3rd, 2020, the day after the Super Bowl weekend. COVID really didn't hit Vegas hard until about end of March timeframe. But one of the things we did before I jump into the campaign work here is we actually launched a bonus program for our employees. When you're closing a resort, a restaurant, people start to jump ship. So what we did a year before we closed, we offered any employee who stayed until the last day a bonus program if they stayed until the day we closed. We unlimited their vacation time so that they could get that paid out on the last day. We also offered them their job back in their seniority without an interview. In addition, we were set up to draw unemployment right away. This is all before the city closed. And unemployment, you guys know what happened with all of that. So we had 90% retention rate of employees who stayed until the very last day. And I'm honored and privileged to tell you 80% of them came back the day we opened Virgin. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But we thought we dodged the bullet. So now COVID hits. We have to launch the campaign soon. We need a transition campaign between closing this iconic resort and opening a new resort that I can't take pictures of yet. So we created this campaign along with OH. OH Partners is our agency of record. I'm not quite sure if they knew what they were getting into. They would have wanted to do this. And Matter Films played a gigantic role in doing this. So we launched a campaign called While You Wait.
So I think let's just do it. I want to get a little bit here. Quick story there. You saw the strip empty. It was insane. I mean, there were people skateboarding down there. There were like bike rides going on. It was pretty.
Guys, I grew up in Vegas. This was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Interestingly enough, during the summertime, when Vegas was closed, when there were no cars on the streets, no people anywhere, thousands of Las Vegas locals would gather on the weekends and ride their bikes down Las Vegas Boulevard. It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. This was some Walking Dead stuff here, guys. It was incredibly eerie. And as you heard Sarah talk about earlier, we don't have locks on the doors. There's no lock on a casino door. We had to board up the doors of some of the casinos just to keep people out. So it Very interesting time, Scott.
So let's launch the campaign. Who doesn't want to see TV work? And of course I do. So, and I will just talk about this, and maybe let's see it in the chat here. I mean, who's seen a Vegas commercial before? It's like, I'm sorry, but it's a very specific demographic of people. And I think what the big insight was with this is looking for something, first of all, unique and different, but something that the Virgin can own. And it was really cool. I mean, you would never see, drag queens and, plus size model, like being headline commercials. So no one had ever seen shit like this in Vegas. So I give Chad all the credit to find that insight and to own it, to say, look, to the Virgin, everyone's welcome. This isn't some exclusivity bullshit. And people loved it. I don't want to say that.
We obviously want to roll in the Virgin corporate brand and what we're trying to do at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas. And for those of you that enjoy Virgin brands and products and services, or those of you that know it, they're a market disruptor. Richard Branson does not enter industry unless he can absolutely disrupt that industry. For us, it was about being real. It was about opening the velvet red ropes for everybody. It was about being inclusive. And earlier when I talked about being a resort for a new generation, a generation to us is not an age group. It's a personality. It's a characteristic of an individual. It's older, it's younger, it's hip, it's plus size, it's beautiful, it's everything. And so we wanted to reflect that in a commercial that, remember, we had no product to market here. And working with Matter Films and working with OH Partners, they came up with a brilliant idea to purchase this double-decker bus out of London that was actually in circulation, branded Virgin Hotels, and we gutted the inside and built a casino inside. And so you're going to see all of this reflected in this commercial. And I have to tell you, we had to postpone this commercial. We had to postpone this a few times. We ended up shooting this in the middle of a dry lake bed between Nevada and California. We had 100 people out there. We had to split them in half. We had to serve individual package meals. We had to van 4 actors at a time out to the set. We had to watch. I couldn't even go out to the set. We had to watch from a teleprompter and get cues. I mean, shooting a commercial during COVID was incredibly complicated. But I'm super proud of what the team and what we came up with here, and I'm happy to show you guys this commercial. Let it roll.
You knew we were going to have text problem when we decided to be the first people to do the PowerPoint.
Well, there was sound yesterday, and it worked. I know they'll get it. We got this. Sneak peek of what we're going to talk about next. If it doesn't work, we can keep going.
You just let it roll in the background.
So just imagine some kick-ass music to this. There's no words, it's all music. What I hope you'll catch while you're watching this is we tried to represent the core pillars of the experience you have when you show up to the resort. It's entertainment, it's music, it's food and beverage and dining, it's gaming. So you'll see the craps table, you'll see the sushi being thrown into the mouth, you'll see the girl kicking with the guitar up top. You'll see the VIP experience and the red velvet couch and the bottle service. So we try to represent all the things that you're actually going to experience when we open this property in a double-decker bus in the middle of the desert. And of course, we have a little cameo or a sound cameo. You won't hear Richard Branson was at the end of this. Here we are breaking the red ropes. Everybody's welcome. They're coming into Las Vegas. They're getting excited about their destination. The party's going. And now you see the red V where Virgin Hotels Las Vegas is as they're getting ready to enter into the valley. And Richard Branson is, so that's phase 1 of the commercial. Sorry about the sound. Hopefully we can get that in the next one. We got another one ready.
So what's interesting, Chad, COVID was just the thing that obviously didn't go away. And in Vegas, it was devastating. I mean, it's a different town when you have to deal with that. So how do you, at least now we have a property to where you can actually shoot a commercial and product and what it's going to look like. But it's at what, 50% capacity?
Yeah.
It's insane.
So we postponed our opening 3 times. We were ready to open, but we didn't feel, and you heard this a little earlier, we didn't feel it was safe to open. Our employee safety and our guest safety was paramount. It was the #1 reason we postponed opening 3 times. We were ready to go. Now, on February 17th, our governor went online and gave a speech about reopening capacities from 25% to 50%. For us, when we got to the 50% mark, that was our cue. Let's go, let's do it. So the governor, halfway through his speech, announced the 50% capacity rule. We sat down a PR announcement right in the middle of that speech and said, we are opening March 25th. That's 5 weeks from when we announced we're going to open the hotel. So quite the challenge. We had to open the hotel at 50% capacity, full mask mandate, 6 feet distancing. They actually had clickers counting people coming in. They had clickers in the restaurants. You had to be 50% capacity. We couldn't have bar stools at the bar. It was incredible. So what we did is we decided to do an official opening, not a grand opening, an official opening. And it was quite the challenge. But on top of that challenge, the folks from Virgin Corporate talked us into shooting phase 2 of our commercial on official opening weekend. If I can give any advice in here, do not open a mega resort and shoot a commercial on the same day. Again, I went double great that day, but it was all worth it. So,
yeah, we keep going through that. We want to get to questions and go to post-campaign launch.
So we were very fortunate. We got all the same actors. We got the same director, Dean Alexander, amazing director. We got Matter Films came back in, and these guys know their stuff. And so what we wanted to do was take what you saw on that first commercial and show you what the actual experience on property is going to be. So it was very fun to shoot, and I hope you'll see the tie-in between the first commercial and the actual opening of the property. Smoke the sound. So again, we were super proud of that commercial. The work that the team did was incredible. We went nationwide with this campaign, so I'm hoping that this isn't the first time you've seen it. Maybe it is, but we were really proud of this.
Well, one thing is kind of how did you know what another insight about this kind of exclusivity, the no fees, the no resort fees? What consumer insight did you gather from that?
It's a bold move in construction. If you guys have been to Vegas, you're paying resort fees, you're paying ridiculous parking fees, you're paying $16 for the bottle of water. Your pets aren't allowed. We took all of that away. So it's free parking. You can bring pets, you can bring big ones, small ones. If you go to the mini bar, we charge street level pricing. So you're paying a couple of bucks for a candy bar, $1 for a bottle of water. We try to disrupt the market and offer things that we knew, being in the industry as long as I have, we knew what pissed people off. So, being a part of Virgin and being a part of their brand standards and trying to launch something that's disruptive in the market, not only that, but being inclusive, but having plus size, having diversity. And this is a direct representation of what you'll see when you show up on property.
100%. It's certainly what the market is calling for, I think, unbiased. So, what do you think? What's next, Chad? What do you see next?
We're so excited. Number one, we have season 2 of our Beach Club grand opening next week at Elia Beach Club. Now, last year we opened midway through the season, so this will be our first full season. We've already got Snoop Dogg, Lane 8. We're actually doing a country series out there, Undone at Beach Clubs, and we have some very big new country acts that'll be out there on Sundays. So I'm excited about that.
Who's been to a beach club before in Vegas?
Like, don't be shy. You don't have to tell us what happened. Tell us you were there.
How insane is that? Like, who came up with that in Vegas to come up with the beach club? Like, when did that happen?
I take credit, but it was not us. In addition, we're super excited to see that entertainment's coming back. We had a very difficult time booking artists because they weren't touring. If you know about how artists book, they don't book destinations unless they're on tour. So we have a full lineup of entertainment. As a matter of fact, I got an email this morning We have 3 days of widespread panic. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yesterday broke an all-time 26-year record in sales and bar for the concert of widespread panic at the property last night. And we had Jeff Goldblum perform with his jazz band. We sold out the first show in 4 minutes, so we added the second show. It sold out just as fast last night at our other theater. And we have an outdoor amphitheater, which we filled in the old beach club, opened a new beach club, built a 2,000-person outdoor amphitheater, and our summer concert series starts next month. So entertainment's coming back, and we're super excited.
It's going to be awesome. So we want to get through mainly questions, but here's what Chad and I talked about. No questions about metaverse or blockchain or NFTs, okay? We've heard enough of that. So any other question other than that?
First of all, great presentation. This is by far my favorite so far. I did not know that Hard Rock was being sunsetted and now turning to Virgin. I'm definitely one of those generations that you guys are getting past. Just thinking about Hard Rock just exhausts me already. So I'm kind of excited to visit Virgin and see what you guys got in store. How much of that nostalgia are you keeping from Hard Rock to basically maybe appeal to somebody like me versus just moving on completely with the Virgin brand?
Which is awesome. That's a great question, and it's something we contemplated quite a bit. So there's a few, what we did is we kept a few very small Easter eggs, if you will, of things that people who knew the Hard Rock would recognize. New customers or customers who kind of went to the Hard Rock wish list, they'll never even see it. But there's a couple of things, like I'll give you guys a little sneak hint. We kept the dome above the center bar, and if you know the center bar, you know that if you sat on one side of the center bar and then you whisper something, it would go across the dome, and the person on the other side could hear it like you were talking in their ear. We kept that dome, and we kept that reverberation around the dome. If you don't know Hard Rock, you wouldn't know that. But I will tell you, it was extremely important to our designers and to our owner to make sure that we didn't just slap paint on a pig, right? Stick on a pig. We wanted this to be a new resort. We put $300 million into this remodel. So when you walk in, we moved restaurants. We moved bars. We redesigned the casino floor. There's not a square inch of the property we didn't touch. We filled in a beach club and built a brand new one. We redid the entire resort pool. There's nothing the same. Like I said, though, there's a couple of those small Easter eggs, and those are a nod to the locals and the people who really need the Hard Rock. You'll know it when you walk in if you know that property.
If you're able to talk about it, we'd love to hear about any aspirations of online gambling and sports gambling. I live in New Jersey, and you can't turn on a sporting event without seeing MGM or JV Saloons and Caesars. And as you were talking about, with Branson getting really disrupted in the industry that it gets into, we'd love to hear about any plans that you're talking about.
Well, I will tell you, we're looking into it from the JCH ownership perspective. We are having conversations with some folks. There is an online Virgin casino. We're talking, it's online, it's free to play. We're talking to them about some opportunities. We're also talking to some other individuals that own the technology. We don't have anything else yet, but we're a little bit early in that cycle, and there's not a whole lot more I can share about that, but we are absolutely looking into it. That's it. All right. Any other questions? Come see me. Happy to answer any questions you guys have. Thank you.